Hello again. I was wondering privately how long it would take our new Foreign Secretary to remind us that his ancestors had been slaves once the election was over. In fact, his first public speech following the election appeared on Friday morning, and I give a link to it in the description to this video. 8 seconds in, he says that he is a descendant of enslaved people. This is doubtless true, but then matters become a little more confusing. For he says that he is a black working class man from Tottenham, which is undeniably true, but he then goes on to say that this is a community which has never before produced a foreign secretary. I am by no means sure what he means by this. He is not presumably claiming to be the first black foreign secretary, because of course James Cleverly was foreign secretary the year before last. No, nor I imagine is he suggesting that he is the first working class person to become Foreign Secretary. James Callaghan was solidly working class from an impoverished background when he was appointed Foreign Secretary 50 years ago in 1974. I can only think that David Lammy is claiming to be the first Foreign Secretary from the community in Tottenham, which is true but an altogether pointless thing to draw attention to. Jack Straw, Foreign Secretary in Tony Blair's administration, was the first to be from the community of Buckhurst Hill. David Miliband was the first from the community of Camden. There's nothing special really about being the first Foreign Secretary from the community in Tottenham or indeed anywhere else in Britain. Much of what Lammy says in this video is just waffle, but then that is to be expected from any politician. The meaningless jargon, misused words, vague promises, and so on. I can't really fault him for that. There was, though, one phrase which cropped up and has appeared before when David Lammy has given interviews, and this is that he mentions the global south. I rather suspect that many viewers will not fully understand what is meant by this expression, or will at least not grasp the full implications. But put bluntly, the global south means all the world other than white countries. It is a way of dividing the planet up on racial lines. And this is so important that I think I'd better make a video on the subject this afternoon. The Global South is a big thing for Lammy, and he has devised something which is known as the Lammy Doctrine, which involves this concept. By the way, a few people in the comments here this morning have remarked that I seem to be avoiding the topic of French politics, but I think that is perhaps due to a slight misunderstanding of who I am and what this channel is. I am a single and old individual, expressing purely personal opinions on a variety of topics. This channel is a small one and by way of being a hobby. I am not a news corporation like Sky or the BBC. I make these videos alone and unaided and film them on a cheap laptop using the webcam and built-in microphone on the laptop. I never edit them at all because I only muck it up, and I simply speak straight to the camera and then upload that onto YouTube. I recently bought a new laptop for the letters A and E come loose on the keyboard as the old one, and they really are indispensable for anybody writing English prose. The laptop I'm using right now only costs £360 or so. It's not top of the range or state of the art or anything of that kind. I am sorry if anybody watching this is dissatisfied with either the coverage of news or quality of presentation. But as I say, this is merely a hobby, a little channel run by some unimportant old guy. Those who want up-to-the-minute coverage and in-depth commentary of world affairs would perhaps be better off watching one of the larger news channels, really. It's hopeless expecting me to provide 24-hour-a-day coverage of world events from a cheap laptop in a small Essex town.